Hello and welcome to another episode of Wicked Easy Cooking. My name is Chef Colin Roach and today we're going to continue with our series on kitchen knives. Okay, so when you're ready to work with your knives, main thing to do is first have all your tools ready. And of course that means sharpened knives like we showed in a previous video. And maybe have your steel so you can hone it as you need it, and the other tools you're going to be needing. You're also going to need a cutting board. As I mentioned, it should be wood or plastic, PVC, something like that that's not going to dull your knife. You don't want to cut on those hard ceramic ones or obviously on a sheet pan or a counter, so get a good cutting board. You're also going to want to secure that cutting board. And a way to do that is to use a wet paper towel, a wet kitchen rag, something like that, so they're not moving around while you're trying to chop. So I've got a towel right here that I previously wetted down, nice and damp here. You don't want it too wet, but just enough to hold that. So you can see this cutting board gets a workout. It even has some, a little bit of carrot, coloring on it from previous chopping. So you got to bleach those periodically. Okay, that's pretty good. We'll use this wooden one in a minute. All right, next thing you want to do is you want to square off to the board. You don't want to be cutting on an angle, to get yourself comfortable. In the commercial kitchen, we may be cutting for hours. So, we want to make sure that we're comfortable, we're ready to go. Okay, and the next thing you're going to want to do is prepare your product, whatever that may be. I've got a variety of stuff here. I'm going to show you some different cuts with it. Mainly we're going to work with some carrots first off. So we'll put this right here in the front. Now, you always want to take your vegetables and what we always say is wash, peel, wash. Okay, if you're going to be peeling those. Wash them first. You don't know where they've been. When they come, you don't know what has fallen on them, what has crawled on them. So you want to make sure you wash those, because if you don't, say this potato was dirty and then we started cutting it, anything that's on the surface of it is now going to get driven down into the middle of the product. We don't want that. So you want to wash first, make sure any dirt, anything else that's on them is off. So I've already washed all of these the first time. And then you're going to want to peel them, and then afterwards you want to wash them again because you've touched them, especially if it's going to be something that's not going to be, it's going to be ready to eat. So a quick way to peel, instead of going right onto your board and then maybe contaminating it with this outside and making juice there, a quick way that is fast and doesn't contaminate the board is to peel on some towel. So I have some paper towel here, just put out a little bit here, and then you can just take your pre-washed vegetable and then just peel right into it. So this is not getting on my board. Okay, this is not, going to have to then touch it twice. I don't want to have to peel it and then pick up all this again. Here, once I have it on my paper towel, I can just fold up the towel and throw it away. Nothing wrong with my board, ready to go. Okay, so now that I've peeled this, now I gotta wash it, and then I'm going to start showing you some cuts. Okay, so we've got our carrots that we've washed, peeled, washed. They're ready to go, and now you have your knife. So depending on what cut you're going to do, most times you may be just chopping it, put it in some soup or something along those lines. And then I'm going to show you some more of the precision cuts. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is, this is round, so you're going to want to secure that. So let's take a little piece off here. And depending on what the cut is, you're not going to want to have your fingers out there. Obviously, you can cut those or your thumb. So what we teach is to pull these back into a claw shape. Okay, and then you're going to run your knife right along these fingers here, so your tips are tucked under and they won't get cut. So I'll show you this here. So instead of having my hand out like this where I'm chopping, I'm going to use this claw, and then, I can just slice, and if I don't move those fingers, nothing's getting cut. But then as I slide the fingers back, okay, I can make my cuts. So they're all nice and even because I'm moving the finger each time. My thumb is way back here, so it's nice and safe. There, and I have all my rounds. These would be called rondelles, these slices here. I did a little bit on the bias. So this is great surface area here if you want to saute those. So we have that. But again, using the claw, you'll see me demonstrate that throughout. Keep that fingers back and ride right along the end. And you can actually chop without even looking, because your finger is guiding it. So in a kitchen, I could be chopping, I could be talking to the cooks, oh, put that over there, someone get the phone, into the door. I don't really have to look at what I'm doing because my fingers are guiding it. I don't have to look at that. Okay, there's two reasons in the commercial kitchen that we want precision knife cuts. One, even cooking, okay? And two is for presentation, plate presentation. So if I took this carrot here and I just, took this side and I made these nice cuts, you can see this is a little bit on the bias. They're all the same size. They're kind of attractive, little half moons, so we can use those. Or if I did this, chopped it like some people do, this is not going to cook evenly. They don't look attractive. They've got all these different sizes in there. And this one is going to be cooked, and this one's going to be still raw. Or when this one's cooked, this one's going to be disintegrated and gone. So if we have them all, roughly the same size, they'll cook evenly, and they're going to look good on a plate. Especially when you get into the sticks, like the Juliennes and the Batonnets. They're going to look nice if you're putting those in a salad or if they're part of your, hot vegetable for a side dish. So I'm going to show you those too. So those are the reasons we do the knife cuts. Okay, now I'm going to show you some of what we call the sticks. And then we're going to make Julienne and we'll make Batonnet. Julienne is just a thinner one. It's an 1/8 by an 1/8 by a 1 to 2 inches. And a Batonnet is a 1/4 inch by 2 to 3 inches. So we'll use those, and that's kind of where they are. And from those sticks, you can then go and cut little dices, little cubes. Okay, this small one is a fine dice. The one from the Batonnet would be a small dice. In the French kitchen, we would call those brunoise. Then we would go into Parmentier, Macedoine. So we have different names for those, and I'll show you those. I'll put up a little chart for that. Okay, so the first thing we do is, most things in nature are round. There's no really right angles, no square. So we have to manipulate the product to make it into that. So this one's round. So first thing you're going to want to do is square off a piece of it. We can hold that and use it for something else, put it in some soup, chop it up later on. And that gives us a square side here. So we can put that on the board, nothing's going to roll. And then, since we're trying to cut sticks out of it, I'm going to do that to all sides. So now you can see I have a square kind of block here. And then I'm going to cut planks from that, and then my sticks, and then my dices. All right, so now if I wanted to cut, Julienne or Batonnet, it's an 1/8 of an inch or a 1/4 of an inch. Now, how can you measure that? Well, in culinary school, we would have rulers for them, or even on some of the knives, competition knives, they have a ruler right on the knife, so we can go and measure our cuts as we go. As you get more and more experience, you just kind of know. Okay, so for Julienne first, it's an 1/8 of an inch, so it may be good to make a mark. I don't know if you can see that mark in there, so you can know that you're kind of in the right area, and you want to make sure it's square. You don't want it to come tapered this way or this way, and when you go down, you want to go straight. You don't want to go wide or narrow. So I'm going to put it right back into that cut right in. I'm going to ground my tip into the board so it doesn't move, and then I'm just going to go straight down. And you can see I have a nice plank there, all even cuts. And from that, now I can cut my Juliennes. So holding it up, and you can see I'm using the claw here. So now we have these nice Julienne little pieces. All right. So they're all pretty even. You hold them by the end, you can see they're all squared off. There's no angles there. So this is a nice, stir fry or something like that. They're going to cook quickly, but they have a nice look, or maybe into a salad. And then from these, I can cut my little 1/8 inch dices, my brunoise. So as you can see here, I've started them, and then I can just push them together on the ends here, and then I can just, rapidly go through it, again, using the claw. You can see all these little brunoise there. Put those on a plate, and you can see it. So there's even cooking here, and presentation. And if I was going to put this into a garnish, they would all look the same. Okay, Batonnet is the same area. It's just the same thing. It's just a little bit thicker. So again, I can make my mark, looking for a 1/4 inch this time. 2 to 3 inches. Put it back in there, cut down through it. Probably get another one out of this one. So now I have my 2 1/4 inch planks Then I'm going to cut my batonnet, stack those on top of each other, hold them steady, and just go down through them. See, so we have them, they're starting to bend because they're carrots. Now I have a little bit bigger plank, almost like a French fry. Okay, and from those we can cut, again, our small dice, or in French terms, Macedoine. You can see these little squares. Again, I'll put them on the plate so you can see it a little bit better. Push them on this side. And there we go. So again, even cooking, plate presentation. A couple of good reasons there. Okay, and then you have these extra pieces here, and again, anything you want to do with them, it'd be nice to put them in some little cubes. Maybe you want to use them for soup. Use these blocks for something else. Okay, so we did it with the carrots. Again, you could do that with a potato as well. You could peel it, but since we're going to square it off, we don't really have to. The tip of the knife is going to be a lot narrower, as I showed in a previous video, and the heel of the knife is much thicker. So if you're doing those small, fine dice brunoise, you probably want to do it with the tip, so it's not going to cut it too big. And the larger cuts, you could use the heel of your knife. So same thing with a potato. We could square it off. Okay, oops, left a little bit much there. Okay, and these we could go and put into a soup or something along those lines. We have our square piece. Again, cut off our 1/4-inch planks. And then from those, we could cut our French fries. And cut our dices from these. So you can do it with potatoes, you can do it with carrots, any vegetable, if you want to get those precision cuts. Now, one of the things you want to think about is when you hold the knife. How are you doing that so you have that precision control? Well, as you say, is like when you take a knife, you want to do it like you're shaking hands. So grab it like that, and that is called, the hammer hold, because it's how you would hold a hammer. That's how people do it. You don't want to have your finger out here. It doesn't really give you any strength. So you do it like this, or some chefs choose to choke up a little bit and hold the actual blade. So thumb on this side and knife. That gives us a little bit more precision in here when we're doing those small little dices. But you can certainly do it this way too, but this one's a little bit, maybe less control for some people. But definitely don't be putting it like this and holding it way back here. Use your knife, use that balance that I showed you in the previous video. That's where the knife is going to rock. So this is where we would want to use that if we were doing chopping. Again, use that balance for that rotating. See how I'm rotating it on that spot? So use that balance of that knife, and you can get your cuts in that way too. Getting that rocking motion here, or choke up here. Okay, so that's it for knife cuts. Now you know how to make those fancy cuts, precision cuts that you could use in your kitchen too, to be just like the restaurants do. Again, keeping those knives sharp and utilizing them with your skills. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, pass it on to your friends who you think may be interested in that. I appreciate all of you and all of your support. Thanks a lot now. Bye-bye. See you in the next video.